Good morning, everybody. This is Pam Laffey from Las Vegas. Actually, I'm calling in from San Antonio, Texas right now. And welcome to our Saturday morning NutriCell call. You know, we do these calls every Saturday. It's our national corporate call. We have updates. We have trainings. Well, today, you guys are all in for a special treat. We have a special guest, and that is our formulator. And, oh, my goodness, I know everybody just loves when he talks. We always get such a great education, and I think that is one of the biggest things that sets us apart from other companies. You know, I don't hear, formulators from other companies coming on and telling us, not just about how great our product is, but he educates us on the things that are, outside that are in our environment that are affecting us, and always, teaches us what we should be doing, what we should be staying away from. And just, it's a journey, and he doesn't expect everybody to just, overnight, fall in line with that. But, as we take it in baby steps, it's just going to help us all just live long and prosper, and that's what he's all about for us. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn this call over. We're in for an amazing treat. So, guys, hope you have your paper and pen out to take notes, because we have the wonderful Fred Saenz. Fred, go ahead and take it away, dear.
Hey, thanks, Sam. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you're
Am I there?
Very clearly. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can, and I will take it from here. Thank you, Sam, and thanks to everybody that helped get these Saturday morning calls going. As always, I have to give a big shout-out to Dave, Austin, and the Austins for trotting this old boy out one last time as the formulator for NutriCell, because I have had the time of my life, and it's only just beginning. I'll give you a quick shorty on how I got here. About 20 years ago, I was a television producer, and I discovered that fluoride was not my friend. And what they were putting in our water supposedly to prevent cavities is actually a very toxic product that's left over from several industries, and they found a very convenient way to put it in our water so they could get rid of it without having to pay for it. This is a fact of life. This is not a drill. This is not pretend. This is what doesn't matter who tells you what. You can look this up for yourself. And with that discovery, it set into motion a crazy feeling. It's like when you get lied to and you wake up to this lie, you're angry. And I got very angry to the point where I quit my broadcasting career, went back to school, studied nutrition, and made my way slowly through 10 toxins that I discovered that we are eating and drinking that are wreaking havoc on most of the Western countries that are eating this kind of food. And so little by little, I started to put together things for my family and friends that they could take to get rid of these toxins or block these toxins from affecting them and helping them get healthier. That spread to my good friends, the Austins, who I've known forever, and they were my guinea pigs early on, and I had them taking powders and potions to do just that, find out what's working and what works the best. And, of course, Dave is a master at this, and his obvious decision to put these things in a capsule and make them available to the public in a very big way is what we're doing today. We're sitting on a dynamite idea to put products in people's bodies that help them block and remove and take care of these toxins before they can do damage and cause serious disease or death. And so it's a very serious situation we're in. These are slow poisons in our food and water. They don't kill you right away. They sort of slowly pick you apart until you're sick. And then you end up going to the doctor for pills that don't cure anything. They just treat your symptoms. And that's no way of getting better, in my humble opinion. So we got together and put our first product out of the 5 that we have now, which was the BLite. And BLite, being the flagship product, is the one that gets the most attention out there and gets most of the sampling done, because it is a pretty remarkable combination of B vitamins, which are extremely delicate and are lost when we cook our foods or process our foods and eat them. So a deficit in real B vitamins, not cheap synthetic vitamins. We're talking about expensive B vitamins that are bioactive, enzyme-activated bioactive Bs, which means that your body doesn't have to use up any resources to convert them. They work as is, and they function to do all of the wonderful things that B vitamins do. And so that, in conjunction with a little bit of iodine, which is what's saving so many thyroids these days, because we are desperately low on iodine in this country, and in the countries that eat and drink a lot of food that has iodine in it, they live a very long time, and they don't get heavy, and they have very low rates of cancer and heart disease. So we have added that along with some beautiful stimulants and some certified organic botanicals, and the combination of these is the BLite product. And this is the one that gets your attention when you sample it, because people feel the energy right away. They feel the mental clarity. Sometimes the thyroid really responds to just the smallest amount of iodine, and then you get a very, very good response from people who are dragging, low on energy, absolutely too pooped to get anything done. And so BLite is that initial product. Now, if you don't like stimulation, we have the same product minus the stimulants called B-Free, and that's our latest product. And I'm going to cover that in a second. But the BLite has a big brother called BLite Extra. And for tough jobs, or for people that are used to caffeine, they were brought up on Monster drinks and Red Bulls, and they were put on Ritalin and Adderall as children for behavioral problems caused by chemicals in the food. These people need something more than just a little caffeine. And so BLite Extra is packed with all of the stuff that BLite has, plus more. It's great for tough jobs, big jobs, and for the athletes that enjoy that kind of extra get up and go for working out and doing what they do at the gym. So BLite Extra, again, is available. I personally love to take one BLite Extra in the morning because it lasts almost all day, and it's just a great product. So those two are the energy products, and B-Free is considered a core product. So we have 3 core products so far: B-Free, BSafe, and BPro. Now, B-Free is excellent as a core product, as a daily product, but it's also a mandatory product if you're taking BLite or BLite Extra, because you need to take a day off when you're taking the BLite or BLite Extra products to recharge your adrenals and reset so that you're good to go the following day and get the maximum benefit out of the BLite or the BLite Extra. And this is where B-Free comes in handy. B-Free is the go-to product for that day off. A lot of people say, gee, I don't have any energy on my day off. I'm just lying around. I can't get anything done. Exactly. You're resting, and you're supposed to. And if you want to improve that rest and make it work for you and recharge your batteries faster, B-Free is the product to take during your day off. So, again, stimulant-free, but very effective at recharging the adrenals. The B-Free it's also a multifunction product. It's not only good for your day off, it's just good for you. And I tell people, if you want to enhance your BLite or your BLite Extra experience, pop a B-Free, and we'll add all of the feature benefits without any extra jazz, and you'll get a lot better, biologically speaking, you'll get a lot better feedback on your BLite and BLite Extra use if you boost it. So it's a great booster, the B-Free, for the BLite and the BLite Extra products. But as a core product, let's say you don't like stimulation and you're happy with your cup of coffee in the morning. Well, B-Free and the BSafe and BPro comprise the core products at this moment. And if you take these 3, before meals, which is where this situation is coming from. The food is contaminated with many, many chemicals. The water is contaminated with many, many chemicals, and we need a way to get those either out of our bodies, because they become embedded over time and they accumulate until you get sick, or they affect you right there on the spot and prevent you from being your best. So B-Free and BSafe, which was the second product we came up with, which is our detoxification immune booster product, And this is the product that I developed for my kids when they went off to college. Obviously, our home is pretty much all organic food and clean water at all times, and my kids were raised that way. But when they went off to school, it was going to be beer and pizza for 4 years, and I knew they were going to be in trouble. So I put together the BSafe to help you block the toxins in the food you're about to eat. For example, MSG, which is very popular, and in many, many foods, not just Chinese food, but in many foods now. That is immediately destroyed on contact with the ingredient taurine, which is part of the BSafe formula. And this will effectively neutralize any MSG, which is a neurotoxin. A neurotoxin is something that kills your brain cells. And MSG is not only a fantastic neurotoxin, but it's what scientists give lab animals to make them gain weight. If you want a lab animal to gain weight, you feed it MSG. And so MSG is adding to the problem in America and in Western countries where everybody is getting supersized. It's in all foods that are processed. Try to sneak in some form of MSG because it makes bad things taste great, which is, from a corporate standpoint, a really good idea to put it in the food. But from a human health standpoint, it's horrible. And so BSafe helps you by taking it just before the meal, and then if you happen to drop something down in there with MSG, you can count on it getting pretty much neutralized, and that is part of the BSafe, magic. So again, tons of things in the BSafe, way too many things to cover today during today's call, but I'm going to try to get it all done in 15 minutes. The BSafe is before meals that are not organic. If you eat organic food, you have no need for the BSafe or for the BPro, for that matter. People who eat clean, organic food, like our great-grandparents did and our grandparents, and pure water, don't have these issues. And the issues are coming from modern food, which is heavily processed, and the fruits and vegetables and things that are heavily sprayed so that bugs don't eat them. And because we're very picky, we like our fruits and veggies to be perfect looking and very shiny and no holes. And so they spray a ton of chemicals on them to bring them to you in perfect condition. Well, these things are super bad for us, and they tear up our guts, and they make us sick. Over time, they're accumulating. Again, these are slow poisons. They don't do it right away. They accumulate till something bad happens. And so BSafe is that dietary prophylactic, if you might, to take before meals to help protect you from what's in the meal so that you can get on with your life, because not everybody can eat organic. Most people don't, and some people won't ever be able to. So they have to find something to help them get through these processed food meals. Now, please, when I talk about processed foods, that's foods you buy at your grocery store. Drive-through foods are so toxic that I'm not even sure BSafe can help you. There are so many chemicals in drive-through foods. The quality of the ingredients are so poor that it is a sure way of getting sick in no time flat or running your immune system into the ground, trying to fight back. So try to get rid of as many drive-through options as possible. Get your food and bring it home and eat it. Try to do that. If not, try to get one of the restaurants that are now going organic or trying to clean up their menus, because it's happening across the country. This is a perfect time to be involved in NutriSale and these products, because the awakening in this country is happening as we speak. And millions upon millions of people are listening to thousands of people like myself who have been awakened and are now spreading the news to others. Everybody's doing it a little differently. I learned mine from Dr. Joseph Mercola and many other doctors who are at the tip of the spear of this movement. But know this, every state in the country is trying to get rid of fluoride from their water, which is the primary reason people are having thyroid issues. Fluoride pushes iodine out of your thyroid, and this is unfortunately a policy in this country to fluoridate the water. So it's going to be city to city, county to county, but we're winning. And 200 cities have tossed fluoride out, and we are making progress every year. So I'm hoping that this goes well. And that brings me to BPro, which is the fifth product we have out. And BPro is basically to repopulate your stomach with gut bacteria that you've lost over the years from using antibiotics, from eating foods that are sprayed with antibiotics, eating meat and fish and birds that are injected with antibiotics. And these antibiotics kill the gut flora in your stomach. Sometimes when you take an antibiotic, it can take you a full year to restore your gut bacteria to its original strength. And this gut bacteria is what protects you by producing your vitamins, your minerals, your nutrients. 80% of the serotonin, which is the feel-good chemical that people like and need every day to feel normal, is produced by your gut bacteria. So when you clobber them with pesticides and preservatives and all sorts of chemicals and antibiotics, you end up killing them off, and then your health suffers immediately. So BPro is a combination of non-genetically modified. I stress this because most probiotics out there are cultured in genetically modified high fructose corn syrup, which is a horrible thing to do. And you don't want to culture your GMO, your probiotics in genetically modified substrate. So ours is a special blend that costs a lot more to get and buy and produce, but BPro is loaded with non-GMO probiotics plus non-genetically modified digestive enzymes. And the combination of these things, I tell people, take them before your two biggest meals. If you could eat clean or skip a meal, then take them, twice a day before your meals to help you digest and break down your food, especially if you're over 50. You're going to need the extra enzymes. But also because once these things get into your colon and into your intestines, they multiply. They double every 20 minutes. Probiotics are very potent. They're actually alive when you take them. And so you don't want to take them with alcohol. You don't want to take them with alkaline water. Is not good for them, not good for B vitamins either. You have to be very careful. Just try to drink some pure water when you eat and take your BPro either before your meals, or it also works early in the morning when it's quiet and there's no digestion. If you take it then, more probiotics will populate your gut bacteria. If you take it just before you eat, some of them will be lost in the digestive process, but most will make it. And if you take it just before bedtime, it's got a nice hat trick. BPro has proteolytic enzymes that when there's nothing to eat and nothing to break down, it goes into your bloodstream and cleans your bloodstream of random proteins that are in your bloodstream due to the damage these foods do to your gut. I'll give you a classic example. Genetically modified food is a real mad scientist invention where the corn and the soy and the canola and several other plants have a built-in bug spray. And so if something bites into the corn, a bug, it dies. And so they're feeding us this corn, and we're not bugs, we're much bigger, and so it takes a lot more to kill us. But what it does do, it makes little holes in our guts, and our food leaks into our bloodstream. So BPro is very good for cleaning up people with leaky guts that have protein leaking in to their bloodstream. It's a great one before bedtime to get the job done. Again, it doesn't really matter when you take the core products. Just get them inside you, and they will do the rest of the work. It's that simple. If you want to schedule them before meals, perfect, because that's where most of the toxins are. So again, there's 10 toxin groups, and it's like a dashboard on a car. If a red light comes on a dashboard of the car, and you stop the car, and you open the hood, and you use a wire cutter, and you cut the wire to the red light goes out. Well, that's what prescription drugs do. They cut the wire to the red light, and now you think you don't have a problem. But the problem is still there, and so you must address the problem. Currently, most people in America have 10 lights on their biological dashboard. There's a light for fluoride that's come on. There's a light for GMOs that's come on. There's a light for chemicals in the food that's come on. There's a light for plastic, which wreck your hormones, and that's on. Heavy metals, if you've got metal fillings in your mouth, know this, 50% of that filling is mercury, which is 2 inches from your brain. That's a definite dashboard light. neurotoxins, MSG, aspartame, and diet drinks. That's a light on your dashboard. Microwaves from your cell phone, from your microwave ovens, from your Wi-Fi router. Those are invisible bullets going right through you. That's a dashboard light. Radiation, putting your breast in an X-ray machine, not a good idea. Increases your cancer rate by 35%. The new way to do it is thermography. That's the new way. Stop using the old ways, because that'll put a light on your dashboard in a hurry. Radiation is not good for you, and it never will be. It may be good to diagnose diseases, but at the end of the day, the more X-rays you get, the more dashboard light, the brighter the light. And then prescriptions and vaccines. Again, these are completely voluntary. They're a dashboard light when you take them. If you don't take them, there's no light. And so I tell people, don't volunteer to turn on a light on your biological dashboard. We want to extinguish these lights one at a time, and the product line is designed to do just that. A little bit of homework. We provide you with about 10 movies to watch to give you a breakdown of those 10 things I just went through, and then the products do the job. All you have to do is take them. Again, the key to the entire project is pure water. We call it pink water. That's distilled water or reverse osmosis water with a pinch or two, if you want, of pink salt, either Himalayan or Bolivian rose salt, either one of those two, but not the white salts. Okay, we don't want to do any of those. They're toxic. And so the water has to be there in order to flush these toxins out. It has to be there in order to cool the inflammation, because with all of these dashboard lights on, you're running hot. Your car is going to explode. Steam is going to come out from under the hood. It's about to happen for many people. And so we want to cool the inflammation. We want to flush the toxins. And that's as simple as making sure you're drinking filtered, reverse osmosis filtered water. It's the only thing that removes fluoride. Or good old distilled water, which by itself is too acidic and it has no nutrients in it. This is why we add the pink salt, which adds all the nutrition back in it. And pink water is far superior and far more nutritious than any bottled water you can be possibly drinking. Not to mention that it's in a plastic bottle, which is adding to this chaotic amount of plastic on the planet, which is going to kill us in the end if we don't do something about it. So we want to do something sustainable. Carry your water with you in your stainless steel, ceramic, or glass container. Learn to carry your water like you carry your cell phone. It's way more important than your cell phone. And so I tell everybody, get into the habit of drinking the good stuff. Try to get in half your body weight in ounces every day of the good stuff to keep the products working their best. So that's a quick overview. I could go on for hours and break these things down, but I'm not going to do it today. I just wanted to get in here today and let you all know that the most exciting things are yet to come. That's what you need to take away here, that we have just begun. Dave and the Austins are absolutely dedicated to putting out a product line that is head and shoulders above the rest with no toxins in it, nothing extra. You are buying and getting what you paid for. There are no magnesium stearates. There's nothing. This is a clean label line of products that I think is going to be the first and maybe, hopefully, spearhead other companies to follow suit and clean up their product lines and use clean label philosophy, which is not putting in anything that's bad for you when you try to buy a product of theirs. So we're committed to this. What's coming up is just hair-raising. It's so amazing. And I look forward to being everybody's personal paramedic. That's basically what I am. I'm the Nutrisail paramedic. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor. But if you come to me, I can help you resuscitate. And I will show you and help you in any way I can. So friend me on Facebook if you want, and jump in with both feet, because the water is absolutely fine. And so that's pretty much it for me. Sam, if you've got anything else you want to jump in and add, I pretty much covered everything.
You did pretty much cover everything. I did have a little short list that I was going to ask you to visit with me, and guess what? You covered them, especially about the water. So you did fantastic in enlightening us about all of the products, especially our new ones with the B Extra and the B Free, and why they work so great synergistically together. You know, one thing I do want to mention, and maybe you can explain why this phenomenon happens. You know, we're not a weight loss company, but that seems to be the word that's gotten out for people. And I guess it's easy to see because so many people post their progress pictures, what's happened after starting to take them. But the funny thing is people say, why isn't the scale moving? But yet I've dropped 2 dress sizes. And I say, you know what? I don't know how that works. It's kind of like with the light switch. I don't think about it. I just turn the light on and it gives me light that I need. So can you explain why that happens? And that's why I tell people it's so important to measure and to take those side-by-side pictures, when you're first getting started, because that's always the true measuring guide. I hate the scale. It's a liar. It doesn't know all the things that are happening in your body. It's just a number. And quite frankly, nobody sees that number anyway. But that is strange that people can lose so many inches, but yet they don't see the scale move. What's going on there?
Well, let me explain. I mean, the body can only burn, biologically, this is a scientific fact, approximately 2 pounds per week of fat. So if you're losing any more than about 2 pounds a week, you're deflating your body. What you're doing is the first thing that leaves is inflammation. When you put in antioxidants, this amount of antioxidants, this amount of Bs, this amount of iodine for the thyroid, the first thing the body realizes is, hey, I've got help here. I've got the tools I need. It's not a 5-alarm fire, and your body shrinks due to inflammation. The body's response to poisoning is to become inflamed and circulate more water to cool the flames of the damage being done. These chemicals do damage, and it's translated in the form of heat. So we need more water to remove these toxins and to cool the damage, because just like when you smash your finger with a hammer, it swells up. This is a biological process to help repair and heal things. But at the same time, if your entire body's under attack, then you swell up all the way around. So reduction and inflammation is the first thing, and that's like letting the air out of a balloon. It doesn't weigh anything, but when all of these capillaries and all of these pathways no longer need to cool you off, they reduce in size like letting air out of a balloon. And so that's not going to cause a lot of weight loss. The second thing that happens is you don't need so many firefighters if you're introducing these paramedic ingredients, and they're going around helping repair and restore and bring back to life all of these parts of your body that are in trouble. And so the second part that you lose after that deflation of the inflammation is water. Water is used by the body to cool this situation, just like firefighters putting out a big 5-alarm fire. They need lots of water to pull it off. But as the fire goes down and the flames aren't as big, they don't have to put as much water on it. And so your body dumps water after it deflates, and that's usually the second phase, where you lose a lot of water that you're retaining in order to cool inflammation down. And then finally, we get down to, one of two things. Your body doesn't like to give up fat because it's part of a survival mechanism that's inbred in us for generations. And so it'll let go of muscle tissue before it lets go of fat. So you might have some deflating from the inflammation. You might have some water loss from lack of need for that much water to cool off the situation. And your body might say, well, I'm going to keep this fat here. You might lose a little bit of muscle. And then finally, it's fat, the fat that you are storing these toxins in. The body knows full well what it's doing, and when it releases these from the fat cells, and the fat cells, they never go away, by the way. You're born with your fat cells. You can add fat cells when you're a little kid and growing, when you're a teenager and growing, and I think in pregnancy is another spot where you can put on some extra fat cells. But otherwise, your fat cells, they can live up to 10 years, and they're replaced one at a time, and you're pretty much stuck with them depending on genetics and what happened during your baby years and your puberty years. But they don't go anywhere. They just deflate. They either release the fat and the toxins and cholesterol, whatever's in them, and that's then excreted from the body or burned or whatever the fat does. Again, I'm not an expert at this. There are many people that know this far better than I. But I've heard the explanation from the people who study this and make a living studying this process. And so basically, if you do this very quickly and you drink a lot of water and you cool things off and you deflate and you cool down, you'll get this radical inches that you lose, but it doesn't seem to move much on the scale. But when the scale starts moving, that's when the real progress is being made. That's fat that is now being burned for whatever fat does, and you no longer have it in your fat cells. And if you don't eat toxic food, you will absorb a lot less into your fat cells, and then you won't get as big. The whole point is to eat good, clean food and drink clean water and let your body find its normal stasis. Whatever you're supposed to weigh. After, I think, age 40, is it? Is it age 40? I've got to check. You gain, biologically, about a pound a year that you really can't get off. It's part of Mother Nature's way of protecting you as you get older, because you're not out there actively hunting and getting your own food. And as we get older, we're more dependent on food being purchased and brought to us. We don't exercise as much. We don't get out there and hustle. And so we gain about a pound a year, and that's normal. If you're 60 years old and you're 20 pounds overweight, that's fine. That's nothing to be ashamed of, and it's not bad. It's actually healthy. Now, you can do exercise to tone up and improve your circulation, et cetera, et cetera. I recommend that, but I hate exercise. So I am what I am based on eating good food, clean water, and I'm still 15 pounds overweight. I don't care because I feel like $1 million. So, again, it's how you feel. Don't spend a lot of time staring at your toes. It's going to happen by itself. Just get the products into your body any which way you can. Let them do their job.
Absolutely. Wow. Thank you so much. And what a great explanation. I just have them listen to this call and they ask me that question, which is another reason why I beg everybody on the Just Be page, guys, and a lot of you are doing such a great job of this. Post those non-scale victories because, people that think this is about the scale, sadly they think, oh, it's not working. And it's nutrition. It always works, especially when it's the pure nutrition of the bees. So keep posting those non-scale victories of how great you feel, how those inches are melting and, the cravings that are being crushed, those kinds of things are so awesome. We want more and more people to understand that, that's what this is about. Hey, Fred, I'm going to go ahead and end this call because it was so fabulous. As soon as Jim gets it together for me, I'm going to post the recording on the Just Be for everybody to start sharing this. Guys, go out and share it with the world. And you know what? It's a great thing to pay this forward. Let people start sampling this because people will feel amazing when they get this in their body. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out this Saturday. Jim, if you want to open the call so everybody can give a shout-out and say thank you to Fred. Fred, thanks again for all your time and everything you do for us. We just love you.
Well, you're welcome.